The first album, the all-acoustic Weather Report, was anything but conventional. I wanted the band to play stronger rhythmically. I wanted to groove, says Joe Zawinul. The opening track of tonight's album, Nubian Sundance, delivers precisely that. Weather Report was aiming for a constituency beyond jazz. The 1997 Heavy Weather album introduced the band to arena rock. Tonight, we are talking about none other than Weather Report, the album Mysterious Traveler from 1974. Okay, cool. Let's get into some clips. What do you say?
Cue the music.
Woohoo!
Let's do.
I think we decided we were going to do yours first since you warmed up.
Yes, please. I've chosen Miroslav's tune, and basically let's play the first half minute, 40 seconds maybe. So what do you think about that? Is that smooth, rhythmic, melodic? I say cool a lot. I think this is a chill album. Or this is a chill track.
Yeah.
Where you just feel like you can flow with it and groove with it, and it just draws you into the whole track. So
I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous because my iTunes version didn't have that track on it. And so this is literally the first time I'm hearing Miroslav's.
I hope you could find it somehow and play that track, because it is so beautiful. And it's such a good piece of jazz.
Yeah, that was a great clip.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, it makes me want to go listen to more. And we talked about it earlier, but that's what we want you guys to do as well. We're only going to play a small clip of the music, and then you guys can go listen to the album for yourselves. Hopefully, you've already listened to it if you watched last week's episode. But otherwise, yeah. So great clip, Dad. Thank you for that.
I want somebody to tell me real quick, Miroslav's tune. What is Miroslav?
Oh, I got that right here.
Please do.
The double bass player on track number 2 of the album. So he's a band member.
Yeah.
And his name is Miroslav Vitouš, or Vicious.
Yeah.
I'm not Russian, so I don't know the pronunciation.
Vitousu or something.
O-U-S. Vitous. Yep. And he's the double bass player on track 2.
And on Wiki, it shows track 2 and track 8, which would have been the Miroslav's tunes.
Yep.
Now, the reason I want y'all to highlight that is he's playing the double bass, the acoustic bass on this album for 2 songs. They had just gotten away from acoustic bass in the album before. So this is their full electronic bass in this particular album, and that was Alphonso Johnson. So for Dad to pick one of the few songs on the album that has a stand-up bass or a double bass was really spectacular to me. That's why I wanted to have that answered. So Miroslav Vitouš.
Yep.
Sorry for the folks in Russia listening to me slaughter that name, but I'm not going to pretend to know it. So I'm going to slaughter everybody's name if I'm honest with this. I'm hoping I got Alphonso Johnson right.
Well, there's a few names on here that we can pronounce.
Wayne Shorter. I got that one.
Got
Mr.
that one.
Gone, baby. Mr. Gone.
Joe Zawinul.
Joe Zawinul. And I say Zawinul because I heard Cannonball Adderley say it. This song from a friend of mine, Joe Zawinul. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Completely different album, completely different band. But
right.
You wanted to hear something as well.
Yep. Song number 6 off the album is named Scarlet Woman. Just go ahead and play, 45 seconds. Starting at 45 seconds, just play me about 30 seconds. You'll hear the head of the tune. There's just all kinds of stuff. Just all kinds of stuff going on. You hear the whoop in the background. You hear the electric bass. You hear the synthesizers. You hear Joe on the synthesizers, obviously, and you hear Wayne Shorter on the saxophone. But if you listen, you'll hear all that surroundings kind of 3D almost stuff going on around you. The whoop in the background. It sounds like it's back here for me. The cymbal, the
hi-hat.
Yeah, it's the cymbal that's got the rattlers in it. It's the rattle cymbal.
Sizzler.
Yeah, the sizzler. Thank you.
The drummer go.
Yeah, the drummer. Check out the brain on the drummer.
You could also hear the bongos.
The bongos.
Just a slight bongo beat.
So I liked it because it almost engulfs you, that tune, when you've got your headphones on, obviously, not straight from your phone. And I mainly listen with headphones on. So yeah, thanks for playing that clip.
Let me say this, Drew, close your ears, but I especially loved this track because it's Scarlet Woman.
I think you're breaking up.
Scarlet Woman.
I'm gonna black that out. Hold that crap up again. I'm gonna shut you off. I'm gonna hang up on you.
Scarlet and Gray. I could just picture that.
But is there was something going on that was that?
I gotta go.
Football game, right? It was a football game.
Let's just say no. Right here, Joe. Yeah, this last weekend was a killer for the Buckeyes.
Oh man,
it was basically.
I'm glad you had a good time watching that because I had a horrible time watching
that. Anyway,
Scarlet.
All right.
Yeah,
the Scarlet Woman. Yeah,
I think it's interesting, Matt, that you chose such a quiet, calm song, and there are two percussionists and two drummers. Mm-hmm. And so to hear the bongos and that sizzle, what'd you call it, Dad? Sizzle
cymbal.
The sizzle cymbal. Having four percussionists essentially on the album, it does stand out. So I'm glad they, again, 1974. I'm glad they did that, but it makes the texture of the album what it is. So the clip I wanted to hear, Wayne's solo on Cucumber Slumber. At about minute 7.
All right.
I also had picked Mysterious Traveler for a different reason, but Cucumber Slumber is my go-to. So
you just like saying Cucumber Slumber.
I do. I do. But it's Wayne on soprano sax. Come on, baby.
You'll have to turn the music down just a little bit. Yeah.
I had it up a little bit loud. I was overexcited, overzealous to hear Wayne Shorter's soprano on that. Cucumber Slumber, though. To me, the whole tune was just like that. Funky. You had a little bit of that funk jam in there, just the fun stuff. I mean, make no doubt about it. It's just a fun album to begin with. But Wayne on the soprano in the middle of rock and roll. And I kept thinking about this all week long with Wayne. Think about Weather Report versus Miles Davis's electronic, or Mahavishnu. We're moving into that rock phase in the late 60s, early 70s, and here he is with Weather Report doing the same thing. Was he not changing genres? And I think about Wayne as a pure jazz guy, just like we always thought about Miles. But Wayne was always out there. So that's what I thought about.
Okay, well, all right, let's put it to you this way. If that wasn't electronic in the background and there was a drummer and a keyboard player playing that same kind of rhythm, he still would have been inventive with that solo.
Yeah.
Right there that you just played. He still would have been inventive. So him moving to the rock jazz, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. And because he spent so much time with Miles, he probably already had that mindset. If music stays stagnant, it never changes and you get the same old stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And he was probably
what I had typed out, Wayne played some really nice stuff on this track. There are a lot of jazzers who said that Wayne gave up for a more minimal sound. Wayne found a really great niche right here in Weather Report. And he had an opportunity to start playing his compositions in a very different manner. So I think about his childhood from the documentary that I've watched now like 5 times already, maybe 10 on Amazon Prime, Mr. Gone. I mean, he was, and it was Joe Zawinul that quoted this, but I found it interesting. Mysterious Traveler was another step somewhere else. And I think that could have just been a Wayne Shorter statement. We're always going. This time we just went somewhere else.
Well, all right. I didn't put this in the slideshow, but Joe's quote I made in my notes last year when we did this album on our personal journey. No Wayne, no Weather Report, period.
That's interesting. What would Weather Report have sounded like?
Joe wouldn't have put it together. He wouldn't. I don't think he would have put it together. Nope. because Wayne was the second founding member of Weather Report, and Joe's the founding member, or at least it led him to, compose.
I would say that they had to be together to make this happen.
Yeah,
Joe would have gone his own way, and one of the albums that I listened to this week was the album right before. I have it on my phone somewhere, but he was starting to move in this new direction.
Yep.
I think Wayne pushed him there, and Weather Report became who they are today. 14 albums, we'll get into all of that, but without Wayne, where would you be? Without Joe, where would you be? Members came and gone, but there's no doubt. Before we get into the slideshow, I just want to make this known. Heavy Weather, to me, is still the best album from Weather Report. I love Jocko. So enough of that. Let's move right on.
You're funny. Dad, anything? You want to say anything?
Well, yeah, I don't think there was one track on here that I couldn't recommend to listen.
Couldn't recommend, or
that I would find hard not to recommend. One track, I mean, I could have picked any of the tracks and said, play this section on this and play this section on that one. They all are, to me, inspiring and so full of jazz, so full of beautiful music. Yeah. So, yeah, this, and when I think of Cucumber
Slumber,
Cucumber Slumber. So there's been times when I've had a garden and cucumbers just kind of, they lay there.
Yeah, they don't do a lot, do they?
They don't.
They're great when they're pickled, though.
Yes. Yes.
Well, then they're not cucumbers anymore.
That's right. They're pickled. But Wayne got pickled a lot on cognac.
Yes, he did.
Wonder what he does.
I will drink to that.
What does he do with scotch or vodka or?
Just cognac. I didn't think the cognac.
Just cognac. So, Matt, what do you think?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Slideshow. Just the facts, baby. Just the facts.
Slideshow. Here we go. So just like I say it every week, I'm going to continue to say it until we're done. Whatever you do, do it to jazz. You're going to hear that in our discussion coming up in just a little bit after our discussion on the album. Again, this week's album, Weather Report. The album is Mysterious Traveler from 1974. I did put a picture of the artwork. I'm not going to talk much about it. You just kind of got a really cool photograph of the meteorite or something coming in the atmosphere over a nice calm lake, which Cucumber Slumber's that calm. The meteor is every other song on this album pretty much coming in hot.
All right, time out. It's not just something going on. This is the 1974 or 73 into 74 famous comet of great disappointment, the Kohoutek comet. At the end of 1973, people thought this was the Christmas star. It came out from behind the sun. That's the artwork from, where'd his name go? Doug Nabbit. Of this great disappointment of a comet. It was found, it made a big deal. The album and the song title from Wayne didn't get mentioned in it. But in 1970 and 1980, there were songs, albums, and music written for it. Journey's debut album, released in 75, had a tip of the hat to the comet. Sun Ra played a concert December 22nd, 1973, because this was the Christmas comet. This was the end of the world, and why not have Sun Ra do a concert?
So it doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise us that Sun Ra would have done something like this.
No, not at all.
Right?
Because he was from Saturn. He probably saw
He
it
knew what the
years
comet
before.
was.
In his vehicle to take him home.
He might have ignited the fuse that got it started.
Well, he was probably the one riding the spaceship, which is why he knew it was there. He left Saturn to come here. Pink Floyd, Kraftwerks, Argent, REM, and Weather Report all did some tip of the hat to this comet in the 70s and into the 80s. So this picture, this album cover just excited me because I'm thinking, how many people really paid attention to the album cover?
So what's the name of the comet?
Kohoutek.
No, the
Kohoutek. The famous comet Kohoutek was named after the astronomer Lubos Kohoutek. And it was first identified March 18th, 1973. And
you said something about the great disappointment.
It is, because what the astronomers saw was this great big asteroid, this comet coming around the sun, and it was in a weird projection. So it was supposed to come through the atmosphere as this super 12 times brighter than any other comet ever seen. And it came through just like that, just as any other comet would. But everybody said it's going to burn the sky. It's going to blow up. You're going to see it for hundreds of thousands of miles. This thing is going to radiate, and it could be the end of time comet. And then it came through with a little bit of light.
So it was the Y2K of 1975.
It was 1973, 1974. So to me, I'm like, oh, that's a cool history. It was mysterious about where it was born, and that it means our life too. Here we are. All of us are mysterious travelers. That was from Wayne Shorter about why the Madagascar picture was used for the cover.
I was going to say, you can call me the great disappointment now because I didn't know that fact about the album cover, but I'm glad you did. Yeah, that's why we make such a good trio here.
As a child, my dad and I were excited to see Halley's Comet. I was too young to really care, but I remember him saying that one day you'll have a chance to see it again. It will be long after I'm gone. So enjoy it and remember that we had seen this together. So to me, the comet's not just a comet. There's something special to it.
Yeah.
So now I'm not going to cry. I'm walking away from the mic.
All right. Cool.
Now
We're going to
finish the slideshow.
We're going to move on to the next slide. Next slide, Jazz Style for the Day. This week, going in alphabetical order, we're going to talk about Dixieland, which is the complete opposite of the album that we're talking about tonight, but I don't care. Dixieland music, or New Orleans jazz, sometimes referred to as hot jazz or early jazz, is a style of jazz music which developed in New Orleans at the start of the 20th century. Stylistically, it is essentially a form of ragtime, typically transposed for brass band, banjo, or clarinet. Now, we have talked about Dixieland jazz, Bix Beiderbecke, Stardust. Hoagie Carmichael.
Carmichael.
Yeah, Hoagie.
Bria Schoenberg.
Yes, Bria Schoenberg. Randy Sankey today would be a Dixieland player. Not his whole style, but he
Jazz
can.
band and Tuba Skinny, Dad.
Tuba Skinny, yeah.
Dixieland.
Dixieland, yeah. So hot jazz, hot. And we're going to be talking about somebody hot coming up in the next few weeks. So hot. Well, yeah, hot, double hot. Okay, this week's album.
Only
Where
if you're 5 or 7.
You're crazy. This week's album, where you can get it, all the major streaming platforms, just like we always talk about. We would appreciate it if you go to your local record store, though, and pick up a copy of Mysterious Traveler. Got a quote from Joe on the bottom of that slide. I am an improviser. I improvise music. Whatever you want to call it all, it is all improvised music. I may capture it and go back and write it down for others, but it was originally improvised. That's the cool thing about this week's album. Now, I don't believe that they had a score that they were... The bass player didn't have sheet music. The keyboard player didn't have sheet music. Wayne Shorter with the saxophone, they weren't reading off sheet music to play this music. This was improvised music. So
I think that's important to mention, though, because Joe sought to create a new language. The sonic language with synthesizers and electronic keys. It was brand new. And imagine just hitting that key and twisting that moog to bend a note. And Wayne goes, oh, that was cool. I wonder if I can do that with my sax. And the bass player says, well, if we're bending notes, I can bend them all day long. And the percussionist goes, what are you guys doing? I'm going to just keep banging on my drums. Animal. That's all I think about with drummers.
Yeah.
Sesame Street. So improvisation, man.
He's talking about you, by the way.
Not yet.
I don't know. I was talking about you.
All right. Next, thank you for that. Next slide. This year in history, 1974 is the year the album came out. The Terracotta Army is discovered in China. And, if you don't know anything about the Terracotta Army, you should probably go read a little bit of history. They found the whole the Terracotta Pot Army in China. Stephen King's novel Carrie is published, and I read the book, I saw the movie, and I saw the release of the new movie Carrie. I liked them all. It's scary Carrie. Also in 1974, Hank Aaron hits home run number 715, surpassing Babe Ruth's record. 1974. When I think of Hank Aaron, I think of like older though than 1974. You know what I mean? Yeah. The name Hank Aaron to me, I just think Babe Ruth's time in the 20s and 30s. I don't think 70s. So that was a really cool fact. Also in 1974, President Nixon resigns due to the Watergate scandal. And then we've got some sad news in 1974 from the passing of Duke Ellington. But that same year in 74, the Monterey Jazz Festival had McCoy Tyner and George Shearing play. So we had some cool stuff in 1974, that's for sure.
By the way, your Uncle Dave Rice and Nan were in China and got to see the terracotta soldiers.
Oh, that's cool.
Really?
He said there were like 40,000 that they saw in one location. And that was just one of 5 or 6 locations or burial areas in one major location. But can you imagine that?
All right, let's move on to the next slide. We're going to talk the weather report timeline. The group was formed in 1970. Then their very first album, like I mentioned at the very start of this episode, the album Weather Report was released in 1971. In 1974, of course, this album, tonight's album that we're talking about, Mysterious Traveler. In 1977, Heavy Weather was released. And again, this was my slideshow.
I didn't see that earlier.
This is my slideshow, so I put my favorite Weather Report album because I too am a huge Jaco Pastorius fan. 1986 was the final album released. There is some other stuff that was released even after that. Of course, the 1997 release of Mysterious Traveler with the bonus track on it. So the final release of the recorded stuff that they did, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that John Schofield was a guitar player in Weather Report. And if you don't know who John Schofield is, he's one of the best guitar players in jazz, in my opinion, besides my man Pat. I mean, Pat's always going to take number one spot for me, but yeah, John Schofield. There's not really many other names besides Jocko and Wayne Shorter, of course, that we know. But man, what an amazing line! We could do a whole episode just talking about the people in Weather Report, and a whole rabbit hole on their kind of music and what they've done individually. Yeah.
Good.
All right, let's move on to the final slide of the slideshow, and we'll get on with our discussion. I didn't put any of the normal stuff for the artists. I just put similar artists tonight. So we're gonna, Heavy Weather. If you like Heavy Weather or Weather Report, you're gonna like the Mahavishnu Orchestra, who we talked about 5-6 weeks ago. Also, the Herbie Hancock Headhunters group, who we talked about 4 weeks ago. Chick Corea's Return to Forever. It's all kind of the same, in the same genre, the electronic. I think Weather Report is just a kind of a notch above with their style.
I like that similar artist section. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. The discography. I don't know why I only typed the studio CDs, but there are 14 studio albums. There's 4 live albums that they have. There's 11 compilation albums, 2 tribute albums, 5 singles, 1 B-side, 6 video albums, and 10 unofficial releases for Weather Report. So I think maybe it just got lazy or forgot to type the rest of that in before I sent it to you today. But yeah, 14 studio. The genre, of course, jazz fusion and jazz funk. It's pretty much all you can say. Electronic, maybe. What else would you say for the genre?
Amazing.
Amazing genre. 6 Degrees. Joe Zawinul. Well, of course, Wayne Shorter. Either one. I could have picked either one, but I chose to go with Joe just because we've talked about Wayne before, so it's an easy one. But Joe and Miles played together on several of Miles's albums. Few facts about Weather Report, unless you had something else to say. Nope. Few facts. They were nominated for 6 Grammy Awards, and they have 1 Grammy win. Wayne and Joe are the longest running members of Weather Report, and we'll put up the timeline slide here. I didn't put it in the slideshow, but you can put that up while I'm talking. The timeline slide.
Yep.
Yep, cool. The 2 met in 1959 in Maynard Ferguson's band. So Wayne and Joe played together in Maynard Ferguson's band starting in 59, which I just thought was awesome. What a trio that would have been. And I'm going to go listen to some of that music after we're done recording. In 1976, our guy Jocko joined in episode, we talked about Jocko in episode...
Long time ago.
91. Yep. Episode 9, basically.
I'm gonna put that link above Dad's head right now.
Perfect. Yeah, if you haven't been watching from the beginning, episode 9, it's a great episode where we dive into Jocko.
We were new to all of this, as we still are. But yeah, bear with us. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, for sure. All right. The final facts about Mysterious Traveler. Mysterious Traveler was Miroslav's last recording with the group. So I just found it interesting that we got his work on this album, and I don't know, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. There's liberal use of funk and R&B grooves on this album, like during Dad's clip. That's a funky clip that we played earlier in the episode. So Joe said, I want the funk, I want the R&B, let's get it done. Go ahead. You got something? I saw your eyes light up.
It was I got lit up because it was the same thing Herbie said too. Right before the Headhunters launched, it was good. I can't think of the name of the band before that. Windishi.
Yep, Windishy.
And he says, I need more funk. Got to have the funk. We got the funk.
He hired
that funk. And,
He hired players who could play jazz, is what he
Yes.
did.
and so here Joe says, you got to have some funk in this. Let's get some funky stuff.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Buddy Bolden's Funky Butt Blues.
No, that is a different style of jazz, more like Dixieland. Full circle on the slideshow, right? Mysterious Traveler did it won Album of the Year in 1974 from Downbeat magazine, and it peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Jazz Album chart. So that wraps up the slideshow. Thanks, guys, for letting me do that. It's always so much fun talking about the artist in the slideshow.
Great report. Really good.
I'm excited to find out what's new this week.
What's new?
Dad, tell us what's new.
Okay. Tonight we're featuring an album by Blue Lab Beats, and it's Blue Eclipse. And there is some very fine rhythmic, melodic tunes on this album. There is one track on here that I have reservations about, but I'll let you all decide that on your own. This was released in Blue Note, actually, April the 19th, iShow 2024. And it is listed as a jazz album. There are only 2 main performers on this album, though there's some vocals that are done that I didn't get the names. A London-based music duo composed of NK-OK, Namali Kawatan, and Dr. MD, David Marakpour. They were nominated, this group was nominated for Best Jazz Act at MOBO in 2021, and then nominated at Jazz FM Awards in 2022 in 3 categories, including Album of the Year and UK Jazz Act of the Year, and they won a Grammy in 2022 for their production on Angelique Midjo's Mother Nature. The members, I guess I mentioned that, David, the doctor, plays guitar, bass, and keyboards, which you'll hear a lot of that. And then the other artists, drum programming, percussion, and production. So there you have it with the album of the week, Blue Note Labs.
So what kind of jazz is this? What kind of music are they in for?
Yeah, if you want a connection, go back to the episode number 11 when we highlighted Robert Glasper. So it's in that vein, that similar kind of jazz action. Robert Glasper, episode number 11.
Pump those brakes. We got some other new stuff to talk about too.
Okay.
And I don't mean to steal your thunder, but I am going to highlight 2 more albums that came out this week, just this week. So Brad Meldau's album, Ride Into the Sun, came out this week. So if you like Brad, go listen to Brad. The other big release that came out this week in jazz, Christian McBride's Big Band, Without Further Ado, Volume 1, came out this week. Why is that important to me? First of all, I love Brad Meldau and anything that he does. Second, the Christian McBride album has a song where he collaborates with Sting. So I will listen to anything. I listen to Sting sing the alphabet. So there you go. Didn't mean to steal your thunder. I just wanted to add a couple more.
You say Christian McBride?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And it's the big band, Christian McBride Big Band, Without Further Ado, Volume 1.
Excellent.
I'm going to give you a B+ on that assignment.
Hey, I'll take it. That's one of the best grades I ever got, except for band in high school. All right. Hey, Drew, tell me your thoughts on the album.
This was an amazing album, flat out. Just so much fun to listen to. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I enjoyed it probably 24 times this week thoroughly. There's so much great sound coming out of it, and I think that's what hits. You've got so much percussion going on, and unlike a free jazz album with multiple percussionists and multiple drummers, they're all in sync with one another. The bass player plays really well, and of course, Alphonso on the electric for most of the songs. You really start to hear what becomes of Weather Report in the albums to come, but you hear that transition from the double bass. And that's what I appreciated. More importantly, the synthesizers, the great sound coming from 1974. But I will always tell you this. First and foremost, I love Wayne Shorter. There's my thoughts on Mysterious Traveler. It's still not my number one. I love Heavy Weather, but if Heavy Weather's at 10.10, 10.9, and then this has got to be at 10.8. They're both right up there as far as priorities. Own the album. There.
Own the album. Yes. Okay. Own the album. Dad, what about you?
Well, again, I binged on this album this week. I can't tell you how many times I listened to it, but I would listen from one track to the next. And now that in the car, I can listen to the track through my phone, from my phone through the radio in the vehicle. Oh my, I did not get enough of it. And it just, so many of the tracks just resonate in my head over and over and over again. I love the style. I love the beat. It's just fantastic. And I will put it on my top 10.
Okay.
Where, I'm not sure yet, but top 10, definitely.
Okay. I know that it came at great financial loss, but I'm glad you could listen to your sounds on your new car radio.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We tried in the van to connect our phones, and we couldn't get it to play music.
No.
So, yeah. Okay. My turn?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I failed to mention it in the slideshow, but on the 99 list of the Jazzwise magazine, please let me take a commercial break here. We are using the Jazzwise magazine top 100 albums that shook the world from 2022. This is the magazine that we're using as our guide on our jazz journey. They also had a list in 99. They also had a list in 2006. On the 99 list, Weather Report came in at number 26 with I Sing, The Body Electric, and Heavy Weather at number 65. So they made two spots on the 99 list. On the 06 list, Heavy Weather was number 20. And this is the first list that Mysterious Traveler has been on. So 2022 list, Mysterious Traveler again comes in at number 16. Number 16. It's a good thing I had my magazine open because my notes weren't in the right spot. Some of the notes that I made on the week that we did this, I put, Joe is still figuring everything out. This is the fourth album. It's not Jocko. Wayne is pivotal in the direction of the album. I think, again, the quote, no Wayne, no Weather Report, he's got to have some kind of direction to say, look, we can't get too far out there, but we got to get out a little bit. It wasn't until it wasn't until 82 when Jocko, no, it wasn't until 76, I'm sorry, that Jocko joined. So I also made some notes on Alphonso Johnson. We've mentioned his name a few times tonight. He played with some amazing players. He played with Chet Baker. He played with Chuck Mangione. He played with Santana. He played with Wayne Shorter, and he played with Phil Collins, just to name a few of the great people that he's played with. So we should not discount Alphonso Johnson's contributions to this album. I said, for me, it was hard to rate, and we'll get to our ratings here in just a minute. It was hard to rate. This week, we were recording our YouTube episode on Count Basie. So we had Count Basie in our ears and Weather Report, two of the most awkward combinations to listen to. Go ahead. I know what you're going to say.
You said Count Basie.
And I was about to hang up on you. I figured that was coming.
Then I said Scarlet Woman.
But two very different styles in our ears. And we had to split that because we were still on our personal journey back then. So having Count Basie in your ears for the recording that week, and then Weather Report to talk about. Just phenomenal, just phenomenal. I also made a note that there wasn't much continuity on the album. The songs didn't really lead into one another. You know what I mean? Each track is kind of almost its own episode on the album. You know, this is a 7-episode podcast, basically. 8 if you've got the version that Dad was listening to, because I didn't get that song.
Yep.
But there's not a lot of continuity. One song doesn't lead into the other, so you get a different feel on every song. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Much like you guys, I didn't go much off of Weather Report this week. Mysterious Traveler, Heavy Weather. What else did I do? Sport and Life. This is this. I did listen to I Sing the Body Electric because it made the 99 list. So I didn't care that much for I Sing the Body Electric. But again, I'm comparing it to Heavy Weather.
Yeah.
Which isn't fair. But like you, Mysterious Traveler is kind of my second favorite Weather Report album. So Heavy Weather would be my first.
Montreux Jazz Fest is where Alphonso played with Wayne Shorter and Santana. That was in 1988. So I'm looking at these going, yeah, as you think about all of the different segments of these great musicians, it was kind of a hodgepodge of all the songs. Everybody contributed to something along the way, but there's no consistency. And if you listen to the whole album, is there continuity? Like what we do. You know, today, again, we've said this in the past, but you listen to a song on the radio, and then the next song is somebody way off different. If you're listening to, like, Bob FM or something, you're going to have Michael Jackson, and then you're going to have
Bon Jovi,
and then you're going to hear a ABBA song, which we did this morning, and then you're going to hear something from Joan Jett. So these... You don't listen to them for continuity anymore, but in the albums, we tend to see that, where they've picked very specific times and places for the songs to have beginning to end.
Back in 74, though, that was pre-CD. That was almost pre-cassette, probably. So you had the album. You had the record. It had to have... I'm not saying it had to have continuity.
I don't know what happened before that. Dad, you're up.
it was the stone tablet and the dragon with his two.
Very funny.
Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones.
Tiger singing the song from his tube.
Very, very funny. Yeah.
See, again, going off the rails on the crazy train.
So, think about 74. Think about the continuity of the album. You had side A with the first
Nubian Sundance, American Tango, and Cucumber Slumber.
Yep. So the first 3 songs, and then the next 4 songs on side B. I don't know. I mean, it got great scores. All About Jazz said it was favorable. All Music gave it 4.5 stars. Penguin Guide to Jazz gave it 4 out of 4 stars. The Rolling Stone Guide to Jazz gave it 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
But for us, for some reason, it didn't hit us like I thought. Wayne Shorter hit us, and Wayne Shorter on this album hit us.
Yeah. But because we dug into Jocko and Heavy Weather, I think we were expecting a little bit more of that.
We were.
Not that Alphonso didn't rock.
Oh, that's why I highlighted him on my notes, especially from last year when we did it personally. These are my notes from last year when we did it personally. So exploring Alphonso was not, it wasn't a slight on Jocko. It's just I wanted to know who Alphonso was. Yeah. And someone that can play with Santana and Phil Collins, come on. I mean, come on. He's no slouch.
So I was a senior in high school when Philips Company came out with the first cassette tape, 1963. Okay. And the Walkman peaked at popularity in the 1980s. So they've been around for a while.
Like you said, in popularity in the 80s, but I mean, you wouldn't have bought a 10-year-old a cassette Well, no, you did have a cassette player. You recorded stuff on cassette.
Yep.
From 1971, 1972.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember those. The boxes were about as big as a tablet is, and like as deep as a stone tablet would have been. And it had a little red button on the far left side that it was a record.
Yep.
Yep.
You recorded some conversation with your kids.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I remember listening back to some of that. You're right.
I still actually have that cassette. I still have that cassette in my safe.
Really?
Do you really? That's cool.
That's ancient history, man. Be careful opening up that safe. It may just disintegrate into dust. That's old.
It is old. You're right. All right. Hey, let's rate this album. What do you say?
Let's do.
All right. Since I'm warmed up, I'm going to go first. We rate on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, 5 being I may listen to it again sometime in the future. Anything above 5, we absolutely adore and love. So this week, I gave Weather Report Mysterious Traveler an 8.
We don't say it, Matt. Would you change the score though? Sometime a year later, would you at all change it?
If we were talking about Heavy Weather and I gave Heavy Weather an 8, I'd kick myself in the throat and then I would change my score. But as far as Mysterious Traveler, it's not going to be one that I run back to. It's going to be one that I look through my notes and say, "Oh, hey, let's listen to all the 8s right in a row," and I won't turn it off. But it's not my favorite, so I don't think I would. Nope, okay. I'm sticking with an 8.
Dad, what about you?
Well, gentlemen, I gave it a very solid 10. I rocked with this album. Like I'm saying, I went whole hog on this thing, listened to it as much as I could, and I just fell in love with it. The style, the rhythm, the music, the musicality of the artist. I will listen to this album again and again.
I can't wait till you listen to Heavy Weather and Jocko.
Well, this week in music, Matt introduced me yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
On our way to Fulton County Fair, by the way, and you put it on.
We were talking, and
I know, but I listened to it this afternoon.
Right.
Matt, what have we done? I mean, he's given Mysterious. Nothing wrong with a 10. I love the score.
He's come from the Stone Ages into the future.
He's bringing the what's new Blue Lab beats of all things. Where the heck did this? And Brandy Young.
He still won't tell us where he's getting them from.
He's throwing these things down like y'all need to listen to these things. And now he's rating Mysterious Traveler to 10. We have a monster on our hand. Hey, Jazzwise Magazine, we have a great critic for you right above.
That's right.
Dang. Well, so, the week that we did this, I scored this at an 8.5. And I was really happy about that score until you start to really pay attention to what's going on. And to me, would I rate it differently? I'd go a half a point up. You know, you talk about it all the time, the creativeness, the awareness, the emotion that they're pouring into this, and the emotion that we take out of it. All of these things from our rating system really do come into play. And you mentioned it earlier, Matt. These guys or Dad did, they're coming up with nothing. Here, I'm going to play this chord. You guys solo over it. Where did you get those notes or that combination of notes from? I don't know. It's what I felt at the time. You got 4 percussionists going at it, and you got Wayne listening to the synthesizers going, that sounds fun. Let's play this note. And that feeds off of this and this. So to me, the creativeness really does deserve a little bit higher rating than I gave it a year ago. I'm still trying to figure out what the notes are to play on that chord, let alone the notes that will take me to the next chord. So I have huge appreciation for what all of these gentlemen were doing on this album.
You asked me if I'd change my score. The reason that I wouldn't is because I haven't come back to Mysterious Traveler since we covered it on our personal journey. it's not something that I came back to.
There's only so many hours in a day to listen to so much jazz, and I can only gorge it so much.
The part of the problem is it's in the W's in my iTunes list, and so unless I'm in the mood for Winton, I don't make it down to the W's very often.
Filter Z to A. Start backwards. I'm going to drive home backwards.
So part of the reason I gave it the score I did, this has got such a balance and a blend. The rhythm, the style, it just the improvisation. I mean, you got to give credit to the improv stuff here, right? And so 10-10-10, we're on it. Yeah, that's where I am.
That's great. That's a great score. And
All right.
I'm sorry that you weren't with us when we covered Jocko and how excited we got with Heavy Weather during that week.
Okay, so as we get into our weekend music, I want to say this. I didn't figure at number 100 that the old man was going to be digging this. And
No.
when we invited he and Phil onto the episodes with Steve Coleman, Woody Herman, I never would have figured that
Indo Jazz.
Indo Jazz. I figured we lost him on that one. And then a few weeks later, he's on every episode. This is you're well beyond 40. So I know that you're enjoying your cup. I'm enjoying the extra water bottle that I got with the Unconnoisseur on it. But it's no longer a guest appearance. Mm-hmm. He is picking some banging. There you go, banging albums. So it's just a blessing. It's a rich, rich blessing.
It is to me as well. It is to me as well. Thank you.
Dad, you're warmed up. So tell us about
my
the
weekend music. Okay, besides binging on Weather Report and Blue Lab beats, I got to say this: the halftime show of that infamous football game that was a beatdown this last Saturday, the Ohio State marching band did a gospel presentation, and it was so very cool. The music just come out. So of course it's the best damn band in the land, so they call it.
Still the only one never to cuss. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's true. We got some bad words out of Phil too.
Delaney, that lesson last week, she was waiting for me at the drum kit, but she was striking the bongo, and I think that's one of the reasons why I like this album so much, because I could experience the bongo, and I could see how she could play it and how rhythmic it was, and what a beautiful soft kind of tone. So that was my weekend music. And then Uncle Jeffy called me this afternoon, and he said, "You've got to listen to Peter Cetera and the one Good Woman song."
Like a knight in shining armor.
From a long time ago.
He said the drum beat in that is so great, and I listened to it this afternoon, and I agree. Man,
soundtrack. What movie is that from?
You tell me.
Asking Dad or me?
I'm asking you, Drew.
Karate Kid, baby.
Be more specific.
One.
No,
that was in 2 because he was fighting inside the arena in Japan.
Yeah, Karate Kid 2.
For the girl he fell in love with.
Van Damme, really?
No. Daniel's sons, Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, okay.
They threw the bridge in the water, and he had to fight the Japanese dude.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You stole my honor.
Dang, talk about old.
There's a line in I don't mean to get sidetracked again, but there's a line in that movie that I absolutely love. They drive up in the old car to the army base, and this skinny private turns around and says, "Sarge, you ever heard of Tommy Village?" Tommy Village.
So Peter Cetera, Dad, we got sidetracked.
Yep. Anyway.
Uncle Monkey,
Yep.
chief of all monkeys, told you need to listen to which song?
Yeah. One Good Woman,
Okay.
Peter Cetera.
You know who Peter Cetera used to sing with, right?
Yes, of course. Let's say Chicago.
Okay, there you go.
Chicago. Chicago. Chicago.
25 or 624.
And some more Chicago.
There you go. You done with your week?
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool. Let me go next. I had a great week in music. Friday night, we went out to the winery to see Peter Jacobs' band again, called Woe Man. It's not Peter's band. Peter's in the band. The band Woe Man. I talked about them a couple of weeks ago. They're an all-female band with a male bass player and a male percussion drummer, but they do female band cover tunes basically, and they do them very, very well. So Friday night at the winery was gorgeous, beautiful night. They had fireworks. Unfortunately, there was a snafu with the food, and we ordered our pizza at 6:30 and did not get our pizza until 8:30. So, yeah, I know it was a huge snafu. There was a lot of people angry, but everyone at the winery that night got a free bottle of wine, so there's no complaints there. Besides Weather Report and Mysterious Traveler, pretty much on repeat this week, I did not venture away from Weather Report too much, except to listen to Joe Zawinul and some of his solo stuff, which I don't want to sound too critical, but his stuff sounds very, very similar. All of his music kind of sounds very, very similar. He's I don't want to call him a one-trick pony, but he doesn't venture off from the same style of music. All his music kind of just sounds similar to me, but it's very recognizable. So, and of course, we had the Fulton County Fair yesterday. I had a great time together with family, and the golf outing on Sunday, which laughs beyond belief that day. They laughed at me, and I laughed at them, and everyone was happy. So, yeah, it was a great day, great weekend music.
Drew, we were 4 holes away from Matt's group, and you could hear him screaming, yelling, laughing.
Mm-hmm.
It was typical of your brother, okay? Just very typical.
Making fun of Keaton because Keaton's group was in front of me, so I was.
Yeah.
Did Lady D golf?
She was sick, unfortunately.
Yeah.
She had a gig the night of.
Yeah.
So she couldn't go to the fair because she was sick.
Did you have either one of you or my mother, specifically we asked, did she have a sausage sandwich for Lily and I?
You know what? Kendra and I did that tonight. We bought extra sausage sandwiches to bring home. I toasted to you and Lily while we ate them for dinner tonight.
Did Mom have one, at least?
Of course.
Her granddaughter's going to ask.
Yeah, she did.
Don't make me call out my mother for that. Too. Well, we know she could eat 2 Big Macs and 3 French fries and 2 milkshakes. We know
That's
that.
true.
But don't tell her that. So my week in music didn't venture a whole lot farther than Joe and Weather Report. I've enjoyed that. As we got later into the weekend, we had a 3-day weekend, so I didn't have to do a bunch of driving. We were not at jazz on Sunday night, so I kind of missed out on that opportunity. But I began to go back to a book that I bought a year ago, and that is The Jazz Style of Clifford Brown. So I ended up over the last 2 days, maybe 3, listening to a lot of Clifford Brown and Fats Navarro. This book is, here's the song, here's the album, here's his solo, here's the licks that he plays over 2-5-1s or 2-5s. So I'm trying to play like Clifford, which is going to be a very long way away. But to understand what he was doing, I've enjoyed my trumpet practice over this extended weekend.
Is that a music book or is that a story book?
It's a music book. It's been just about impossible for me to play like him, but you got to start somewhere. And as long as the horn's to my mouth, like Keith Jarrett said, walking in front of the piano at the Cole concert, there's no place I'd rather be. You give me 30 or 45 minutes to practice a little bit, I'm going to practice something just because there's no place I'd rather be right now.
Did I send you that video of the guy practicing in his car? Check your TikTok. Check your TikTok because I'm almost positive I forwarded it to you on TikTok. Guy in traffic, and there's a big pickup truck, and he's recording the guy in his small little car because they're in traffic. They're waiting.
Yeah.
It's not like he's driving down the road, but yeah, guy's got his horn to his mouth and he's praxing right in the car.
It reminds me when I would go to the bike shop, I'd have an hour before work. I'd go park in the church parking lot down the street and practice. I know I had to look crazy when the people were walking through or driving through. What's that guy doing? I'm just practicing my trumpet. Y'all go about your business.
Yeah,
So-
Bix played to an empty field.
He had Hoagie standing there to watch him at least.
On a frigid night.
Oh, man. So who's got the page ready?
You do.
We turn the page and we're at 15. This week, Ornette Coleman. What you looking at?
I'm not the next 10. I'm a big fan of the next 15 weeks.
Well, yes. But of course, when you turn the page and it is the left side and right side,
Yep.
this week, number 15, Ornette Coleman, Free Jazz. This was on the Atlantic album on LP and CD, and it was recorded in 1961. The page indicates that it has Ornette Coleman on alto, Eric Dolphy on the bass clarinet, Don Cherry and Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Scott LaFaro and Charlie Hayden on bass, Ed Blackwell and Billy Higgins on drums. And I got to ask, Matt, was this the first week that we started to see Don Cherry?
I think it was. Yes.
And
I don't think we knew much about Don or listened to any of Don's music before this week. And then I rabbit holed hard, I'll tell you.
And the actual album, I have it on screen, Free Jazz, a collective improvisation by the Ornette Coleman Double Quartet. So I think we're in for some free jazz, as the album title says. But Don Cherry, y'all dig into some Don Cherry. And, of course, listen to some Freddie Hubbard.
I'm not going to give too much away, but
Give it all away.
No, I'm not going to. But Dad, if you've got your hearing aids, and I don't know the quality of sound, but if you have a good set of headphones, in my notes from this album, it's not something that you can be listened to with a phone. You need a good quality headphone to listen to this album. So,
Okay.
play it through your hearing aids, not necessarily through your phone, or go out to your car. Sit in your car, not with the garage door down, drive around or something, and crank Ornette Coleman up on your car radio even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We really appreciate you sticking around. Remember to give us a like, give us a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe to the channel. We could always use subscribers. I'm not too proud to beg for subscribers, so subscribe to the channel and ring that little bell so that you get notified when our new episodes come out.
Love the comments. Keep them coming. And Tim, thanks so much. We'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers as well. So from us to you,
Have a great week.
adios.
Good night, y'all.
Or shall we say cheers?
Do svidaniya.
Hasta lasagna. Don't get none on you.
See you around like a donut.
Don't be a hole.